Class is in session. This is Professor Ganymede. In this video, as part of my continuous self-improvement series of relearning Lucio since I've been on such a long hiatus, and especially learning Lucio now that he has the changes, I'm actually going to do some analysis and be looking at the gameplay of DSPStanky in a pretty close match here. So let's break it down. We are here on Hanamura, and this is actually a tiebreaker round. I wanted to pick a close game just so I can learn as much as possible. And let's see where he does. He actually starts shooting at the front line as soon as possible. He tries to amp a speed there to push his team forward, but this is Hanamura. It's really hard to push that choke point, but we're going to see how he tries to do it. He knocks the Roadhog away, and he sees Reinhardt rush in and sees it isolated from the team, so he actually runs in and tries to get damage on that Reinhardt and kill him. He does get shot in the back by the Roadhog, but the entire enemy team took a lot of damage. In that little skirmish there, they want to push the objective as fast as possible because if the enemy team loses a person, they take a lot longer to get back to combat than if your team pushes the person. So if your team loses a person because of the spawn locations. So even though that failed the first time, well, it's to be expected because it's Hanamura, but also they can also get a little bit of advantage. Now, he coordinated with this team, and you guys can't hear it because I muted the sound, but he did say, hey guys, let's go left side, and he moves with his team to left side using his speed amp. And then you saw that instead of him moving on the ground like the rest of his team, he actually got up on the wall and just started bouncing up. He did get a little bit low health-wise, but because he was in the air, he was able to dodge further damage and shoot down at targets, and then move forward once he actually got the kill on the Reinhardt. Yeah, and just show you again, like he's shooting down at the Reinhardt, and once they get the kill, he turns around and knocks back the Roadhog. He does call out that the Roadhog hook is down, so his team turns around and collapses on that Roadhog, because Roadhog is very vulnerable when that hook is on cooldown. And then he runs in and just cleans up, gets the finishing blow on that Ana, and takes the point there. So that was pretty smooth. Again, he did, in order to take this point, coordinated with his team, used the speed amp, rushed to one side, and then used this elevation to become really evasive. Even though he got really low, because he was being evasive using his movement, using his wall ride ability, he did not die, and he was able to continuously put out some pretty good damage. Now, you see he runs in here. He uses his speed buff to run in because he knows that his Zenyatta has ultimate. Notice his positioning. He sits next to a wall. He moves past Reinhardt's shield and starts shooting him in the back. And then when the push fails, because he was positioned correctly next to a wall, out of harm's way, he's able to just knock back the Reinhardt and disengage pretty easily, especially using the change to Lucio's wall ride that gives him a burst of speed as soon as he jumps off of a wall. So now he's just going to coordinate with his team, move up the right side, and try to regroup for a push here. He's messing with that Ana a little bit, just giving some damages, but he's actually gonna move in now. I believe he's actually gonna amp a speed to try to run in, and he gets hit by the Earth Shatter, which it happens. Definitely gonna happen, especially in the enemy team, depending on the enemy team's cooldowns. He's going to put some damage on the Reinhardt. Look how he uses the walls to get pretty elevated, to be a little bit more evasive, try to be out of range of that Reinhardt swing. Even though he got hit by the Graviton, no one was able to follow up on that Graviton, so I'm not actually sure what the point of that Graviton was for the enemy team. He does run forward, he gets slept, and that was actually a really good sleep dart. I don't know if that was luck. This is a Grandmaster game, so it might have been intentional, but his team, they do fail, so maybe that Graviton was good, or his team just didn't have enough to actually make that push successful. Now he has 60 seconds left. He has enough time for pretty much one more push, and instead of being impatient and running in by himself or doing something drastic, he coordinates with his team, waits for his team to group up, speeds in, drops the beat. Now let's see where he prioritizes. He's going to switch targets here. He's going to shoot. He's going to get behind the Reinhardt, shoot him in the back. He kind of just runs past the Winston, and he's very easily able to get away from that Winston with the new wall ride changes. And now you see that he has pretty decent aim, and you'll notice that pretty much every Lucio who's at this rank has to have good aim, because Lucio does so much damage. He's even able to hit that Ana while she's jumping all over the place, knocking around the Lucio. He's focusing the Lucio down as well. Now it's just a game of just focusing whoever shows up, and you'll see while he gets low, he's switching back his crossfade to make himself more evasive by making his movement more erratic, and he'll use this little back roll as well to stay elevated and to be more evasive. You see that the little back wall, he used that pretty often, and now it's just clean up here. And that's the match. That's the match. So that was the tiebreaker, and you'll see that he actually has 46 eliminations, 6 deaths, silver elims. Let's just take a look at this. Really good accuracy. 45 weapon accuracy, 15 kill streak, and healing 12,000. I mean, this went a ton of rounds. Not the most healing, and that's the thing about Stanky is you notice that in his games, a lot of his play is more focused on the enemy team. He's kind of like he focused on disrupting, doing damage to the enemy team. Less of a bodyguard or defensive play, like a defensive play style. Now, it's very, when you watch someone like the Hawk, another Grandmaster player, pro Lucio player, versus someone like Stanky, you see the very big contrast in their play styles. So Stanky plays a very aggressive, very enemy-focused playstyle where he focuses on what the enemy team is doing, and only very rarely focuses on what his actual team is doing. And once the actual fight starts, like, he'll coordinate with his team. Clearly, as you saw when the fight actually begins, like rush them in. But once the fight is actually starting, he's going on. He's trying to do some damage. He's trying to get in their back line. He's trying to disrupt the team, as opposed to group with, as opposed to like protect his teammates, or protect knock someone back that's on his mercy, for example. And you'll see that differently with the Hawk. So with these new changes, I'm probably gonna make a completely different video on that. So this is DSPStanky, and we learned a lot here. Whether or not you want to adopt his particular playstyle, and you do need to be very skilled to adopt his particular playstyle, because it's very high risk, high reward. If you don't have the skill that's near his, you're gonna die a lot. But if you want to adopt this playstyle, then these videos should help with that. So I learned a lot from this. Hopefully you guys did as well. This has been Professor Ganymede. Thanks for watching. Class dismissed.